us right now is presidential historian Doug Wead with some presidential trivia. Doug, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So he'll be sworn in today, obviously January 20th, but you say this wasn't always the official date of the inauguration.
No, that's right. It was in March. And it's interesting for me to hear people talk about how Trump kind of jumped the gun and got busy, but it's always been that way. In fact, that's one of the reasons they moved it to January, because so much work was done by the president-elect, and it got contentious at times. So they moved it to January, and we're out of the horse and buggy days. So
when did they move it to January? What was the date?
Well, let's see. It was FDR who was the first president to have moved it to January.
I see. So the president is attending a morning church service this morning.
That's right.
I believe 8:30. That's dating back to FDR's inauguration day, right? Tell us about that, because he's attending service at St. John's Episcopal Church, which other presidents have done that.
That's right. So that tradition began then, but actually it started at the very beginning. John Adams was not inaugurated in Washington, but he moved into the White House. He attended that church, and Madison and Monroe did, and the first 6 presidents of the United States were Episcopalian and were official members of that church. And the pastor of that church, William Hawley, is an amazing figure of history. He was like the Billy Graham in his day. All the presidents had to touch William Hawley, and he ended up in a little bit of scandal. But then Andrew Jackson came to town. He was a Presbyterian like Donald Trump. That was, people thought the world was going to end. We don't have an Episcopalian president.
Wow.
Andrew Jackson, a Presbyterian. But he also walked across the street and attended St. John's.
What a beautiful tradition we have, right? That they start this day by going to church. I think it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. There's always this comparison between Andrew Jackson and Trump. Do you find the similarities?
Very much so. I started talking about it immediately.
Really?
Jackson opposed the Second National Bank. He said that's just insiders trying to make money. And so big comparison.
Economic populism message,
Very
fighting
much
with
so.
Congress. You're going to see a lot of that.
First 6 presidents were political aristocrats. They all came from Virginia or Massachusetts only. So here came a Westerner, hot temper, bullets in his bodies from duels, and people said the world was going to end. This guy's not going to make it.
So the president's oath of office, obviously critical of